one can tell you what's challenging for you. Only you know if you're bullshitting yourself, only you know if you lie to yourself, and only you know what you're really afraid of. You're not going to rewire shit in your brain if you're only watching the recovery content. Take that action. Hi everyone, it's me, Carbundance, and today I will not be dying in the park. As you could see yesterday, I was really dying, and I'm not gonna do that to myself today. And let's just start straight away with a comment that I got that I wanted to respond to. You will see it on the screen. Is this one from High Carb Regenerator. I came across the channel a while ago. It's kind of a Duran Rider style channel. He's about weight loss and stuff, and experiments with the Duran Rider high carb, very low fat lifestyle. He left a comment: I warn against extra protein and fat. You don't see the toxic effects of it sometimes for years. It's true. It is kind of like smoking cigarettes. It may take years for adverse reactions. I only say that because I am only on this journey because of the harmful effects of excess protein, but it took many years for the damage to happen. I have met a lot of others who have had similar issues, but it happened so many years after doing high protein that they don't put two and two together. Another way to put it is both fat and proteins are acids. They need to be kept in check, otherwise they can deteriorate what they touch. And so this is my reaction to this. He's right, both fat and proteins are acids. And the thing is, I have also been educating myself a lot about alkaline diet and stuff. And I mean, it's true what he says, but the thing is, and I'm pretty sure he knows this as well, but the acids and alkaline things, sorry, it's not my mother tongue, they need to be in balance. Like, I'd say it differently. The alkaline foods need to be balancing the acids out. It's not like no human ever can eat a diet that doesn't include any kind of acids. It's not possible because acids are part of every food on earth in nature. And even the most vegan and most carbohydrate-rich foods, there's just a tiny amount of acids in every kind of food. And whether a food is as acidic or alkaline in the body, gets metabolized in an acidic or alkaline way, is determined by the content, like the content of nutrients, micronutrients and macronutrients. And so yes, in general, so this was even a comment on a video I made a while back, at the beginning of the last year, where I was experimenting with more protein and fat within the vegan diet. And so I'm sure he would be even more horrified by, you know, if someone did that within a non-vegan diet, as I have to do now because of what I explained in my video a few days ago, because of the eating disorder, recovery from a restrictive eating disorder. And so watch that if you haven't watched that yet. So the thing is, there is a threshold and an amount of acids that the body can handle without any negative health effects. And it's because they are part of nature and you can consume them as long as over the life, like in general, the acids are kept in check. As you say also in your comment, yes, they have to be kept in check, but they will be kept in check automatically as long as you don't only eat fats and acids. And that is humanly not possible, actually. Like, how? Because foods are rich in carbohydrates. As long as you eat all foods, and doesn't matter if vegan or non-vegan diets, as long as you eat not only acids, you will have alkalinity that opposes the acids and that balances them out. And so I'm pretty sure that High Carb Regenerator also knows that, you know, there's this myth in general in the health community where a lot of people think that you actually have to eat an alkaline diet in order to make your, in order to keep your blood pH balanced and healthy. And yes, the blood always has to be at a certain pH value or level, but the body does that. We don't have to do that. The body does that. But how does it do it? It actually extracts the alkaline minerals from bones and tissue. Not sure if it's only bones, but it extracts it somewhere. It has to get it somewhere. It cannot just generate it out of nothing. And so where do these come from? They come from our diets. So we are responsible for taking in the nutrients that the body needs to have the resources to control and regulate the blood the blood pH for us. And so that is where, yes, it is important that we keep the acids in check, but it will be taken care of by eating not only acids. And that is not, you know, you cannot eat only acids. And so yeah, fresh and plants and like, yes, it is important, but it's not like as soon as you eat, you know, as soon as you eat a little bit of protein or a little bit of fats that you are going to deteriorate. Because you are talking actually, sorry, I don't know your name, actually, I only know the name of your YouTube channel. You are talking about a high protein diet, and yes, it is super unhealthy. I should have said that from the beginning on, but that's super unhealthy, and that is not natural also. Even if we are not talking about a vegan diet, all of the animal products, they are always accompanied by fat also, and protein is much more, what the general public doesn't want to believe, is much more harmful to the body than fat even. Because there's much, I will not go into that right now, it's going to be too long. But yeah, the book Proteinaholic by Dr. Garth Davis, people might know that also. And the thing is, there's a difference between a high protein diet and just a diet that just, you know, doesn't emphasize protein or fat. Like, I personally practice and also believe in, like, at least for restrictive eating disorders, in you know, not emphasizing anything. And I've come from the past of emphasizing carbs, and while it did do me well physically in general, what I do now is not doing me bad in any way. It still does well for me, but for me the change in direction was mentally. And yeah, but that's not the topic of this one. I just wanted to point out, if you as my follower are afraid of proteins and fats, then it's not that black and white. When you are recovering from a restrictive eating disorder, it doesn't mean that you eat high protein. Like, quite the opposite, because most people are less scared of protein than of fats. And yes, fats are also acids, but then at the same time, you are not going to be drinking oil and not eating anything else. It's like you just add them to all of the other foods, you say. And yes, there also might be extreme phases of, you know, the extreme hunger phase, where you only crave the foods that you never ate for all of the years. And that might be the so-called unhealthy foods. But the truth is, in order for you to be healthy in the long term, these are actually the most healthy foods that you can eat. No, you're not going to get diabetes. No, you're not going to get cancer. You are going to get healthy again. You are going to rewire your fear of all of these things in order, like, there's no way around it. You have to do the opposite. You have to go with the mental hunger. You have to go extreme for some time until you've gained some weight. for me also it was like this. I gained some weight, and then I was so afraid it would never happen, but it really happened that this died down. These foods, these so-called unhealthy foods, they don't have power over me anymore. They used to have such a power because I couldn't stop myself. And I was so afraid exactly of this, like, no, this is so unhealthy, so many proteins, so many fats, but fats much more than the proteins. Yeah, I think I've rambled enough about that. Now, if you have any questions, just let me know. Let's go into what I ate a year ago. And then I'm going to show you what I ate yesterday in order for you to motivate, like in order for you to be motivated by my videos. But the thing is, it's not only about you watching my videos and think, yeah, I'm inspired, but I want to really inspire you to take that action. Every time you sit down to a video of mine, you take that action and you eat something that you're afraid of. You don't have to eat only that thing. You can also just add it to the other safe foods that you have. But the thing is, over this year, I want you to challenge your fears more and more. And you have to start somewhere. But don't think black and white. That's the same topic again. It's not like either you die or you live. No. You have to... What's important is that you take a step further every day. And yes, there might be 2 steps back, but then there will be 4 steps forward. And from what counts, what I did the last year to get where I am now, is you never give up. You always get up again and you keep challenging yourself. And no one can tell you what's challenging for you. Only you know. Only you know if you're bullshitting yourself. Only you know if you lie to yourself. And only you know what you're really afraid of. And my aim for you is to dare to get more like braver every day in this year to go against your eating disorder, to go against the restriction, and to actually really eat what you crave. All of the most unhealthiest foods that you could think of. And no, I am not promoting disease. No, I am not promoting another extreme. I am promoting the balanced health long term. But you cannot be that right now after weeks or months or years or even decades of restriction. This restriction has to be made up for. The calorie and the energy deficit has to be made up for in order for you to not be micromanaging your hunger signals anymore. You don't have to manipulate anything anymore. No volume or no energy intake or whatever. I want you to come back to the trust in your body that it is able to regulate that for you. And it doesn't mean that you are going to become obese, and it doesn't mean that you are going to become sick. But the thing is, only doing the opposite is going to get you to the freedom where you don't have to regulate all of that yourself, but your body does that for you as it was naturally designed to do. So let's start. Yeah, this was coffee time with my husband. I loved that because I haven't had that before, right? Yeah, it made me so emotional at that time. You see here, it's pretty similar to what I had before, like the days before. It's oatmeal, but then with challenging foods for me, which was seeds and nuts, and I think it was soy, like textured vegetable soy protein. And I actually toasted them in the microwave, and it didn't work out. That it works. Yes, it works in general, but I left it in there for too long, and these are quite burnt. But I love very toasted stuff, so I went with it anyway. You can see the watery kind of yogurt here. It's some kind of fruit also in there. Because I was too afraid to have only yogurt in that amount. I kind of diluted it, and I encourage you to, if you haven't had protein like a soy yogurt or any yogurt at all, I mean, that is a step forward. Have some, but the goal is for you to be able to eat it without diluting it down. And so that was one of my first steps. It's better than nothing, right? We don't think black or white. You have to go through all of the gray zones in order to get to where you want to be, in order to be free. I also had some plant milk on top of that, because I always used to make my oats with water only. So extra calories on top makes it more creamy. It's like the unnecessary extra calories, but they had to go on top. No meal should be safe anymore for me, right? I made it my goal to evolve and stop lying to myself. It always had to feel a little bit unsafe. For me now, everything, like I don't eat the foods that used to be so safe for me. It's just, I don't. But in order to start, to dare more, you have to start somewhere. And something is better than nothing. So, but then when you, like this year for you, so I want to help you to get to dare all in recovery, like the real recovery. But these are only the steps towards that. This, what you see here, is not all in real recovery. It's opening yourself up to something more every day, because at that point I just, you know, as much as there are other people that do it overnight, like from quasi to real recovery, I was frozen. It didn't feel possible to me. And it might be the same for you. If not, that's the best thing you could do. You do it overnight, you're just reckless. Completely, the most extreme. It's like your ED voice is shouting and screaming at you, and it's just, you just do it. If that's the best way you can go about it, and it will be the fastest way for you to go through it. But I know that there are so many people who don't have the courage to do that, and those people are my videos for, in order to get better every day. Okay, as long as you get forward, it's only a matter of time then that you are going to get to your goal. Now I want to take you by the hand. This looks like cake, and it's super, super, super yummy. Yeah, let's go through it. The lunch. I love, love, love bananas. I eat them by themselves. I love them when they are ripe. It's all like, I love Carbundance foods. I love carbs in abundance, and I still eat carbs in abundance. And these when I had my Vitamix, as I said, I got it around Christmas, and these were my first non-failed ice creams. Super delicious. But let's also note that it was January, it was winter, in Germany, it is freezing cold. Why would someone eat ice cream then? Some people with eating disorders actually eat cold foods because it takes more energy or more calories to burn, because the body has to get the body temperature up again. That was not the reason why I did it, but I ate it a lot in January, and it was mostly because it felt comfortable for me to have similar kinds of foods, like to kind of have a routine. I did have the fear of having something different every day, because in my head I still was trying to keep note of roughly how much I ate calorie wise. And I did love all my food every day. Everything I ate I really loved. But the other part of the truth was also, and the other part of the reality was also, that I was just also afraid of just going out of the routine and out of the safe zone. That's just that was kind of an affirmation app thingy. Oops. Just my 2 cents to there. Yummy, yummy, yummy. You can pause the video if you want to see more. And it's super yummy. And it's a big, 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 big plate. It's a huge bowl, super satisfying. But the thing is, for me, it was that safe because it also fills you up so much and for so long. But that's manipulating your hunger. You don't have to eat high volume, high fiber, high water, high keeping full for long time stuff in order to maintain your weight. The truth is, when your body is at the point where it is healthy and your metabolism is at a point where it is healthy, more calories will not make you gain weight because it will be regulated by your body, and it's not like you are the one to keep that in check. And no, the ultra processed foods in society are not what makes people obese. There's so much stress and also mental things that go into like things like binge eating disorders or something. For someone with a restrictive eating disorder, that's not what's going to happen to you. You don't have to eat. Like, you can trust your body with processed and even ultra processed foods to tell you that you're full and satisfied, because there's not only the volume receptors, as Dr. Light says, there's also the energy and the micronutrient and the macronutrient and the energy receptors, and they do work once you've come through the mental hunger phase, through the extreme hunger phase. During extreme hunger, you are thinking and feeling like, this doesn't work, I need the volume, because all your life, or like all of the time before your restriction, you actually misused volume foods or high volume foods in order to numb your hunger. But your mental hunger is there. You're still thinking of food because you haven't had enough energy. And I don't know how I got to this now. Yeah. Okay, let's keep moving. Yummy. So that was the same dinner as the last days before. But the thing is, so my husband made a huge tray of lasagna, and this was vegan, by the way, and it's with tofu ricotta. I think it was even a McDougall recipe. But the thing is, it was a fear food back then. I was challenging it, and every time I introduced a new fear food, I felt like, oh no, like the ED voice was shouting at me, no, we can't do that ever again. Like, this was the last time, the first and last time. Go back to what you feel safe with. And for me, you might think, well, she only eats this every night, so it's like the safe food. But every time the ED voice got louder even. It will get louder before it goes away. And so you have to keep challenging the fear food in order for the fear food to not be fear food anymore at some point. That's crucial. And once it's in, it's in. And that's what I attempted to do here. I just didn't listen to that voice, and I had it over and over again. I think it's the third or the fourth. I think the fourth day in a row here. But I promise tomorrow there will be another dinner. I saw it already. Yeah. Yummy. So, this is what I ate yesterday. My husband made a barista coffee. And I mean, we got a special coffee machine, and it's his hobby, and I don't complain. It tastes like the best coffee in the world, better than in any cafe. I don't complain. I haven't had it for so long in my life also, and this is even decaf. And for anyone who thinks you cannot like the coffee just for the taste, yes, you can. And this is also not over roasted, so it's not the stomach acid issues. Anyone who is just against coffee per se are just radicalists. It's like for no reason. It's not an over roasted, over burnt bean. No, this is like a little bit toasted bean. Yes, it's not a food per se, but it's okay to enjoy. Okay, your nutrition does not consist of this. And it's not also for keeping away the hunger. No, it's actually just part of a meal for breakfast for me, just for the flavor. And I enjoy it so much because I used to be so against coffee. And so you see the butter, woo, and avocado. This is on a Weltmeisterbrötchen. The bun has got a lot of seeds also on the other side. You can see it here. Butter, just because, under everything, no matter what the spread. And yeah, butter, and then avocado. Love avocado. And then the egg on top that my husband made a few days ago, like before. And these are chocolate sprinkles. It's even dark chocolate sprinkles. These are vegan. My husband also likes them. And this is a wheat pudding, like Grieß pudding. It's like shredded wheat. No, coarse wheat. Anyways, it's by Landliebe. Just a fear food, right? Or it used to be a fear food. Now I just try to shut my brain off, and I just take whatever I want out of the fridge. And I actually started my recovery buying all of the fear foods, so I have them at home. Like kind of the opposite of the Pleasure Trap by Dr. Lyle. I just surrounded myself with the fear foods, so I have access to them all of the time. And that was the best decision ever, because now, like, they don't have the power over me anymore. I don't feel like I have to eat the whole fridge. They are around me all of the time. I don't even think about them if I'm not hungry or I have like mental hunger. Anytime I think of food, I will eat. And it's not like when I started recovery half a year ago, that I just felt ravenous. That just the hunger was not going away. Mentally and physically, or sometimes only mentally, I only wanted food, and I couldn't stop thinking about food all of the time. And it took a while for it to go over, but I'm out of that. And that is so great, because I just want to tell you, it works. I know every one of us thinks, well, it works for all of the others. It will not work for me. Yes, it will. Darling, it will work for you. And if you're a boy or a girl, I'm sorry if I said darling and you felt offended. But yeah. Let's go further. I would have gagged at this kind of picture when I had still not come to terms about that I have to do this, that this would actually get me back to health holistically. And it would not give me all of those diseases. Also not long term. I mean, I will get to this in other videos, but it's just too black and white again to say that. But now I just see life in it for me if I see something like this. Chocolate sprinkles and the butter. Yummy. Okay. You can pause the video. Then before I went out to record yesterday's video, I had the Snickers, banana and corny, a milk corny. Snickers is my favorite bar ever. Always has, always will, I guess. Always will be. The Snickers, I had it in the Philippines once when I had an impulsive kind of I have to do this. Because it called my name. And this was kind of one of my very, very first steps to just try and think, well, I still was otherwise completely 100% vegan, but I knew I have to do this now in order to make an experience and learn from it. And so I tried it because I knew it was always my favorite. But in the Philippines, the recipe, like the ingredients are different. It tasted really crappy. Like it wasn't as yummy as I thought. But I had it here and I have it here now, and it's super yummy. I just love it. And yeah, that's what I had before I went out. The corny milk, it actually tastes like Milchschnitte in German, like a milk, I don't know how to say, from Kinder. But just better, I think. I have these tons here also. The Snickers. And now, if this makes you drool, if this makes you want to have a Snickers or something similar, you go and get yourself one. And if you don't have it at home, you go and buy one. And then you watch my next video and you eat it with that one. That's a plan. Take action. Because that's a recipe for recovery. It's not sufficient. It's not enough for you to just watch recovery content and be inspired. The only thing that's going to make you free from eating disorder is taking action. and doing what you see others do. Do it yourself. You're not going to rewire shit in your brain if you're only watching the recovery content. Let me down in the comment below what you are challenging yourself with, what you are eating in the video. Let's make this a new thing. Comment down below what you are eating while you're watching that video of mine. And let's encourage each other and inspire each other. So everyone who watches my videos actually gets a step closer to their goal. And throughout the year, you are going to see my whole back and forth recovery and what really got me to where I am now, to zero restriction. And if you make that with me, parallelly to my videos, you are going to get to where I am now in that year. And a year is a good time for that. There are people who can do it overnight. They're like, kudos to you if you're that kind of people, that kind of person who just radically doesn't give a shit. I'm just gonna do this and not take a year. And you do not, as faster as you can, like the faster you can do this and the more radical you can do this, the faster you're going to get through it and be free. But I know that there are also the people who, they are like frozen. And I was one of them, frozen. It's like, it's not going to happen. And I had a mental blockage there. And so for those people is what my videos are for. I want to take you by the hand, and because we don't have to be black and white. Doing something every day, even if it's not all in yet, but you want to get there. But even if it's not all in yet, by doing something every day, it's better than doing nothing. And a baby step is better. It's not as good as an elephant step, but it is better than no step at all. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you're not doing anything, you're not going to get out of this. And this will go on for the rest of your life. And we're going to stop that this year. Let me be your pal, and let's do this together. So, give this a thumbs up if this helps you, because I'm not sure. People are really quiet and silent. Not many people comment. Okay. Yummy, yummy. It looks so yummy. Get yourself one. And no, I am not promoting disease or... I am promoting your health, your holistic health, and your body is going to be the one to tell you exactly what is right for you. And just because something is processed and not growing on a tree doesn't mean it's unhealthy for you. That's just bogus bullshit science, like pseudoscience. Everything that we can buy, even the most ultra-processed food, is made up of components that once were in a whole plant or in an animal. But yeah, that's another topic. But it is, that's, if something is natural or not is not the determination of if something is healthy or not. That's what I want to say. In the afternoon, my husband wanted to he wanted to have a coffee, another decaf, because we just celebrate our new machine. And I wanted one as well. And if it had caffeine, I surely wouldn't have slept that night. But it didn't have, so that's fine. I love to be spontaneous. I love to have that with my husband. And then, okay, let's get this finished. This was some noodle soup, and then Bürger Maultaschen. It's kind of some, these are even vegan, vegan ravioli, like filled pasta. Super yummy, super yummy. I had 4 of those. I didn't show it with the fingers, but I had 4 of those, 4 from 6, and some lentil and chickpea pasta. It's not even that yummy. I bought it quite a while ago, and my husband made it yesterday, and I bought it back then because it was high protein and I wanted to challenge it. But I don't even think they are yummy. They need a good sauce in order to be yummy. And this is tahini. I had this with the ravioli. This is chocolate pudding. It's even with cream, like full fat cream chocolate pudding. Super yummy. The consistency, look at the consistency. Yes. I love the consistency. And this was russischer Zupfkuchen. It's like a cheese, chocolate, streusel. Do you say streusel? I don't really know the word right now. It doesn't matter. It's from a river. It's very, you know, it's just bought. I didn't bake it myself. You can pause the video if you want to see it. This was super yummy. And then before I went to bed, I wasn't really hungry, but I wanted these. Like I had kind of, it doesn't even matter if I am mentally or physically hungry. I just wanted something. I thought of food, and so I had some. And every time I don't have a food, it means I'm not thinking of food. That's how far I've come now. This is roasted cauliflower that my husband made. I got some of these, and also the chickpea and lentil pasta. And then Oriental chips. These ones. These are my favorite. I had it with Miracle Whip even. That was my snack. And also some cheese. I just don't judge what I want to have. I have the weird combinations, but I don't even care. I don't question it. I just do it. And it's super yummy. And tzatziki from Aldi. And I had some lettuce with it as well. Lettuce and crisps are so well together. And that was it. So yummy. I will end it here, and I see you next video. Bye.